In the ever-volatile theater of Middle Eastern politics, the latest twist features a ceasefire proposal that reads more like a cliffhanger from a geopolitical thriller. Hamas has given its nod to a ceasefire blueprint engineered by Egypt and Qatar, yet this script lacks a crucial signature, that of Israel. Without Israel's agreement, the proposal is akin to building a bridge halfway across a river. Simultaneously, Israel is not just sitting on its hands, but actively preparing the Gaza region for potential military escalations. This unfolding scenario promises neither peace nor war, but an unnerving suspense that holds millions in its grip. The Gaza-Israel conflict is deeply rooted in a long history of political and territorial disputes. Hamas, a major Palestinian faction, has controlled Gaza since 2007 and is often in conflict with Israel. Previous ceasefires have been temporary, generally collapsing amidst renewed hostilities. Each ceasefire brought hope, but none brought lasting peace. The complexities are steeped in a dense history of failed negotiations and broken promises. Understanding this backdrop is crucial for grasping the current situation's gravity. Egypt and Qatar have proposed a new ceasefire. This includes terms for the cessation of hostilities, opening of border crossings, and humanitarian aid. Hamas has agreed to these terms, but Israel remains skeptical, emphasizing security concerns over immediate peace. The acceptance by Hamas and hesitation by Israel depict a scenario of cautious optimism mingled with deep-seated mistrust. The exact details of the proposal reveal both a path to peace and potential stumbling blocks. Israel is mobilizing its military capabilities, focusing particularly on Rafa, a strategic and densely populated area in Gaza. Civilians are being urged to evacuate, indicating possible extensive military actions. These preparations are not merely routine, they signal Israel's readiness to escalate operations if the ceasefire fails. This proactive stance underlines the complexities of achieving peace when both preparation for war and hope for peace proceed concurrently. Humanitarian concerns are at the forefront of the Gaza conflict. The human cost is immense, with civilians facing daily threats from airstrikes, shortages of essentials, and displacement. Although international humanitarian laws strive to protect them, enforcement remains challenging. Global humanitarian organizations are vocal, urging both sides to prioritize civilian safety. Their calls serve as a poignant reminder of the dire human realities behind the political chessboard. In Israel, the internal politics are significantly influenced by its policies toward Gaza. With elections on the horizon, leaders strategically use their Gaza strategies to sway public opinion. This situation affects not just international relations, but also domestic political dynamics. The Israeli public's reaction is mixed. Some advocate for tougher measures against Hamas, while others call for a more diplomatic approach. This division is clearly reflected in media portrayals, which vary from supportive to critical of the government's strategies. Hamas's approach to the conflict combines political governance with militant resistance. Internally, it faces the challenge of managing Gaza under significant economic and military pressures. Externally, it seeks to gain leverage through international sympathy and support. Understanding Hamas's dual strategy is key to understanding its decisions in the conflict. Its actions are not just military, but also deeply political, aimed at both internal governance and external negotiation. The international community remains divided. The United States and the European Union have different approaches, reflecting their diverse interests in the Middle East. Middle Eastern countries also vary in their support or condemnation, influenced by their own regional ambitions and alliances. These reactions shape the diplomatic landscape, influencing potential resolutions or escalations of the conflict. International relations are therefore a critical piece of the puzzle. Looking ahead, scenarios range from a successful ceasefire leading to negotiations to a breakdown resulting in intensified military operations. Each scenario carries implications for regional stability and international relations. Predicting the future is fraught with uncertainty, especially with the volatile dynamics of the Middle East. However, understanding potential outcomes helps prepare for both diplomatic engagements and conflict resolutions. Media coverage varies widely, from international networks to local outlets. Each shapes public perception through its narrative. Information warfare involving propaganda from both sides further complicates the truth. Social media plays a growing role, allowing real-time updates and diverse viewpoints, but also spreading misinformation. Navigating this landscape requires critical analysis and cross-checking of facts. The actions of both Israel and Hamas are subject to international legal scrutiny. Accusations of war crimes may lead to investigations by international bodies. Legal outcomes could influence future conduct in conflict zones. Legal perspectives provide a framework for understanding and possibly resolving some conflict aspects. They remind us of the universal standards expected in warfare and governance. The ceasefire proposal between Hamas, Egypt, and Qatar introduces a glimmer of hope amidst ongoing turmoil. However, without Israel's buy-in and with continued military preparations, the path to peace remains fraught with hurdles. The international community must play a balanced role, promoting not just a ceasefire but a sustainable peace that addresses the root causes of the conflict. The future of Gaza and Israel hinges on the ability to transform fragile ceasefires into lasting resolutions. This comprehensive analysis of the situation in Gaza underlines the complexities and challenges of establishing a lasting peace in a region marred by prolonged conflict and deep-seated distrust. As the world watches, the interplay between military preparedness and diplomatic endeavors continues to shape the lives of millions in the Middle East and beyond, reflecting a broader narrative of global geopolitical dynamics. The path forward requires not only strategic diplomacy, but also a profound commitment to human rights and humanitarian principles, guiding us toward a future where peace is not just a temporary ceasefire, but a permanent reality. The unfolding drama of the ceasefire in Gaza presents a complex tableau where geopolitical interests, humanitarian concerns, and regional stability intersect. At the heart of this are the conflicting agendas of Hamas and Israel, with Egypt and Qatar playing pivotal roles as mediators. This ceasefire, while a beacon of hope, also underscores the fragility of peace in a region marred by prolonged conflict. As we explore this situation, it is crucial to understand the motivations and expectations of each stakeholder to grasp the possible outcomes of this tentative peace agreement. The Gaza Strip has been a flashpoint in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for decades, with numerous flare-ups resulting in significant civilian casualties and destruction. Previous ceasefires, often brokered with the help of international mediators, have seen varied success. Understanding the historical context of these agreements is crucial to discerning the potential trajectory of the current ceasefire. Each ceasefire has been shaped by its specific geopolitical and regional contexts, influencing their success or failure. The latest ceasefire proposal, brokered by Egypt and Qatar, includes provisions for halting hostilities and easing some of the blockades around Gaza. While Hamas has accepted the proposal, viewing it as a necessary step to alleviate the suffering of Gaza's residents, Israel has reservations. These stem from concerns about security and the enforceability of the ceasefire terms, highlighting the deep-seated mistrust between the parties. Israel's military preparations serve as a stark reminder of the delicate nature of the ceasefire. The Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, are on high alert, with troop movements and military exercises designed to ensure readiness in case the ceasefire fails. This military posture not only influences Israel's negotiating stance, but also sends a clear message about its readiness to escalate if necessary. The humanitarian situation in Gaza remains dire, with the civilian population bearing the brunt of the ongoing conflict. The ceasefire offers a potential respite for these civilians, promising an easing of blockades and possibly allowing humanitarian aid to flow more freely. However, the reality on the ground is complex, and the effectiveness of the ceasefire in improving humanitarian conditions remains to be seen.